the ground. His killer walked up on them bowling and looked them in the eye. He said, aren't you gonna beg? He said, no, I signed up to die. Death don't have a hold on me, so death don't put no fear in me. I don't think that you hearing me. To die. When I lay down on that bed, I'm gonna open up my eyes and my Lord gon' be signed up to die. Death don't have a hold on me, so death don't put no fear in me. I don't think that you hearing me. To die. 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 I signed up to die. It's only
all right, back again. What is black supremacy? I just want y'all to think, what is black supremacy? I heard the word thrown around. What is it? Huh? I don't know what that looked like. What is black supremacy? All right. Now, let me just get on into it. They don't need to make it this long and draw it out. Now, while I'm looking at it, now, you wonder why, I don't worry about black folks that, that support, that have a flag on their profile, because I understand history. You go looking at the COINTELPRO. The first thing the feds started doing before they started killing us was labeling black folks communists and Marxists. They throw all these words around. Okay. How can you call black folks Marxists and communists when we fought every war that this country ever had? How can you call us communists? How can you call us communists and Marxists when y'all do business with the Russians, the Chinese, the Arabs, everybody you go to war with? Y'all see how dangerous those labels are when they only point them at us? Huh? So I understand why you might see some black people with American flag in their profile. I don't care nothing about that American flag. So don't. But I'm not going to argue with somebody that do. How you going to label us a communist? I understand the propaganda game. When now you got Confederates that fought against this country. But yet it is okay to buy, sell, and trade Confederate flags. You understand? A whole group of people got together and formulated an insurrection, a coup. But it's okay. They don't get in a frenzy. They don't get upset when they see their fellow white brethren waving around Confederate flags. Nope. So yeah, don't get upset if you see black folks, they got a American flag in their profile. How can they label us communists and Marxists? Now, and on the same turn, China's supposed to be the enemy, but they got all their businesses in China. So either you for communism or you're not. So if you're not for communism, then why you got all your businesses in a communist country? Huh? And if you're not Marxist, why are you doing business with Marxist countries? What is black supremacy? Huh? That's another label that the enemy try to put on us. Let me get into my message. Let me see here. All right. Let's look at this definition. Now, they said historical usage. Black supremacy is a racial supremacist belief which maintains that black people are inherently superior to people of other races. Okay, let's put that to the test. Hold on, y'all. Maybe it's right here. Oh, hold on. I know what I forgot to pull it over. Hold on, let me pull it over. Okay. Let me pull it up. Hold on. Y'all bear with me. Having some strange stuff going on. Okay. Give me send this to my CPU. For some reason, I can't pull it up. Maybe I didn't open it. It's pulling up different on my phone than on the CPU. Let me just read what I got here. I get it this way. Now, this is white supremacy right here. Government and politics. Let me do it this way. Government and politics. Let me see here. All right. Now, how you gonna have a black supremacy and you got white supremacy running the government and they running the politics? Criminal justice system. What y'all gonna realize, there ain't no such thing as black supremacy. That's what you're gonna realize. All right. Voter suppression. Where is the black supremacy at in government and politics? I'm showing you what I'm reading from. Immigration policy. What a black supremacy at on this immigration policy? Where is the black supremacy at in voter suppression? Let me see how big this blow up. We killing these lies. We gonna kill these lies. All right. Wealth and home ownership. Where is the black supremacy at? Huh? Employment and labor. That's why you hear black people saying we might can be bigoted, but we can't be racist. That's what racism is. Racism is controlling the government, is controlling the criminal justice system, is controlling voter suppression, political representation. That's what racism is. Wealth and home ownership. That's what racism is. That's why you hear black people saying we can't be racist because we don't have control over that. Employment and labor. Where is the black supremacy? You got to get through the gaslighting, the deflection, and the lies, and stop worrying about their feelings. This is warfare. Okay? The exploitation of labor. You haul in illegal immigrants so you don't have to hire black folks and economically sabotage us. You run highways through our towns that were financially stable, exploiting the wealth. That's what all these immigrants that they just busted in the Hyundai plant in Georgia. Hundreds of them working, but you talking about Negroes as criminals. All the while, you're holding them, keeping them, preventing and sabotaging economically from getting jobs. You move the jobs in the prisons. Education. You can't call Negroes low IQ when you're running the education system. And you stack the classroom with white teachers, knowing that they miseducating. All right, you control the curriculum. Where is the black supremacy at? I'm gonna hit the Bible in a minute on y'all. I'm gonna hit the Bible. I didn't hit the Bible on the last video. Organizational culture and all this, healthcare disparities. You wonder why sisters and brothers go to the hospital and don't make it out, or that what should be routine. Yeah, medical racism, environmental racism, portrayal of otherness. You control the media. That started as soon as we got that. That's right after slavery. The propaganda began. They began putting out print publication labeling black folks as criminals. We became criminals when you could no longer exploit us in slavery for free. We became lazy. Then you made a law because we didn't have a job. What they meant by having a job, you wasn't going to work for free. So we're going to lock you up and we're going to work you for free. All right. Harmful stereotype. This is, yeah. Let me see, can I pull this up? See, can I find this? I can find it on my phone, but you see, I'm using a different search engine on my phone, though. Let me type it up a different way. Hold on. Let me type in AI overview. Okay. Even in artificial intelligence. That's why the facial recognition is flawed. Medical tools. This is some more racism. This is something I wasn't even looking for. But yeah, propaganda and radicalization. Oh, y'all can't see that. Y'all can't see that. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. All right. Let me fade to black. All right. This is what racism is. So when they talk about some black supremacy, just ignore that. Shalom, DSB. Just ignore that. What black supremacy? We don't control the education, the financial institution. We don't control the judicial system. We don't control the media print. We ain't global world trade. You understand? They love putting these lie labels on us. They love mislabeling us. Let me get to the Bible. I think I made short work of this. Made short work of it. It's taking me to AI. Hold on. I think it's 9 sectors. Okay, now here it is. Here's some more. Here's some more. Racial hierarchy. The belief that white people are genetically, intellectually, and culturally superior to other racial groups. Okay, if you're going to believe that, believe that. You understand? You can believe what you want to believe. You can believe what you want to believe. Don't make it true, but when we get our own stuff, our own time, if you look, you don't have to sabotage people that got low IQs. You don't have to miseducate people that got low IQs. See, if you're superior, then why you got to do all these lines, all this other stuff? See what I'm saying? I don't want to, I don't want to be around them like that. And I'm keeping it real. I don't want to be around white folks. I don't hate you, but I know history. I don't want to be around you. I don't. Why would I want to be around? I want to be around white people as much as a doggone chicken wants the fox hanging around the chicken coop. The sheep wants the wolf hanging around the flock. They got a thorough history of undermining us, lying on us, mass incarcerating, enslaving us, killing us, and finding themselves not guilty. But some of you white folks is mad because I don't want to live around you. Okay, now let's say you had a serial killer that got, that gets parole, and he got but people don't want him living in that neighborhood. Is that not understood? Why the people don't want the serial killer that just got out of prison? Is that understood why they don't want him living or her living around them? Is that not understood? Y'all ain't even safe around your own folks. You don't know when the next shooting gonna be at. Pointing the finger at black folks. Is your kids all right going to their schools? Your children all right? You sure? You can keep pointing the finger and lying on us all you want to. But you're going to have a rude awakening or a rude sleep, a rude nap coming. But let me keep going. Let me move on. Let me get to this Bible right quick. It ain't gonna need to be in long. This is this white supremacy that the Bible didn't call white supremacy because white supremacy wasn't a term until the heathen made it a term. But this is the white supremacy right here in the Bible. Okay? Doggone right. I don't want to deal with rattlesnakes nowhere near me either. All right? This is the lion. This is the Messiah speaking to the eagle. The eagle is this Roman beast system. The last of the beast in the Bible, the eagle. All right. Now, this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 12. I've covered this several times, several videos. All right. Now, all right, I'm going to start at 7. 2nd Ezra, chapter 12, I'm going to start at 7. And this is Ezra, said, Yah, bearers rule, Lord bearers rule, for if I have found, he done had a vision, and he don't know what the vision means. And so he's praying to the Most High, if he have favor in the Most High sight, to show him what this vision means. Okay? All right. If I have found grace before thy sight, and if I am justified with thee before many others, and if my prayer indeed be come up before thy face. You know, the angels take prayers before the Most High. Yeah, the angels ain't just sitting up there watching the Most High work. They down here working too. But anyway, let me keep going. Comfort me then, because that vision had him shook. Comfort me then and show me thy servant the interpretation and plain difference of this fearful vision. Now he saw what we going through, and it got him shook, and it was a fearful vision, that thou mayest perfectly comfort my soul. For thou hast judged me worthy to show me the last time. Last time. Ain't no black supremacy. I just proved that. And he said unto me, this is the interpretation of the vision. The eagle, whom thou sawest come up from the sea, is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel. You know Nebuchadnezzar's vision, Nebuchadnezzar, the whole book of Daniel, Nebuchadnezzar's dream. But it was not expounded unto him, therefore now I declare it unto thee. Behold, the days will come that there shall rise up a kingdom upon the earth, and it shall be feared above all the kingdoms that were before it. And in the same shall 12 kings reign one after another, whereof the second shall begin to reign and shall have more time than any of the 12. And this is the 12, and this do the 12 wings signify, which thou sawest. As the voice which I heard this week, this is talking about all these other morphins, all these different nations that come out, these Western nations. Let me skip down. All right, let me skip down. Right here, verse 23. 2nd Ezra chapter 12, verse 23. I skipped down to 23. And in his last days shall the Most High raise up 3 kingdoms, renew many things therein, and they shall have the dominion of the earth. And of those that dwell therein with much oppression, white supremacy, much oppression, above all those that were before him. We are living in a time of oppression that never existed before. Above all those that were before them, therefore they are called the heads of and it's been going on for some time now. Okay, been going on for some time now. All right. For these are they that shall accomplish his wickedness, and that shall finish his last end. Those of you who feel your comfort zone coming to an end. Hallelujah. All I can tell you is repent. And whereas thou saw the great head appear no more, it signified that one of them shall die upon his bed, and yet with pain. All right, hold on. It's still talking about the infighting amongst the Roman kingdom. If you go through history, the Roman kingdom had infight. Half of it was Muslim, Islam, and the other half was Christian. Constantinople, all this fighting, right? Now, and a side note, keep in mind, remember, we are scattered worldwide. Don't nobody talk about that Islamic slave trade going to the east. But anyway, and the lion whom thou sawest rising up out of the wood and roaring. Hold on. It might be 13 I need to see. Hold on. No, this is it. Y'all bear with me. But anyway, I just wanted y'all to see that Roman eagle. That Roman eagle. When you see Elon Musk throwing up that Roman salute, it's talking about this Roman eagle. White supremacy been going on. White supremacy was around when the Messiah was around. Okay? Let me show y'all Roman salute right quick. Yeah, I just want y'all to see that your white supremacy right there. Okay, there go your Roman salute. Yeah, there you go. You can call it Nazi salute, whatever you want to call it. Same people. White supremacy. Y'all excuse me. White supremacy. Say it, but don't spray it. White supremacy. Now, there you go right there. There you go. Let me see here. It looked like I saw it right here. There you go. Now, y'all notice the Israelites didn't get mad about Elon Musk throwing up that Nazi salute. Y'all notice that? Notice, see, when somebody do something like this, let them speak and explain that themselves. Why you got Jewish people explaining what Elon done? Y'all do know his grandfather was a Nazi. Hold on his mama side. Let me see. Y'all know that? Did y'all know that? Let me see what it says. I ain't gonna try to hide nothing. Let me see here. There it is right there. His maternal grandfather, Joshua Haldeman, was involved in controversial political movements and expressed racist and anti-Semitic views, but there's no direct evidence. Okay, but I saw something. Saying the contrary. But nevertheless, you do your own research. All I need to know, they hate black folks. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. They hate us. That's all I need to know. They say it ain't no direct evidence. Okay, I can't prove otherwise. I'm gonna leave it like it is. But they can't deny this though. Operation Paperclip. They can't deny Operation Paperclip. They can't deny that. Y'all know what Operation Paperclip is? Right after World War II. They brought the Nazi scientists over here and put them to work. See? Yeah. Look at here. They can't deny that. They brought Nazis over here and put them to work. I keep telling y'all, these are the same people, y'all. How is the smallest group of people, which is white people, how is they everybody? Think about it. Now they South Africans. They the Native Americans. Think about it, family. How is these folks everybody when they the smallest amount? And you got black folks, and I'm not beating up on black folks talking about they Brits, American. That ain't for me. Yeah. I'm a direct descendant of Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov of the scriptures. I'm not trying to be no American. I don't care nothing about none of that. I'm not trying to fall up under the name of a white man. See, you say, well, I got white names. Okay, well, Daniel and them had other names. People know Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego by their slave name instead of Azariah, Mishael, and Hananiah. They had slave names. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to just take this, not beating you up. It's just captivity. That's what happened. They started naming you. I reject what they give me. I reject what they put on me. Okay? Here it is. Now, among these are the children of Judah: Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, to whom the colonizer gave names: Hananiah, Shadrach, Mishael, Meshach, and Azariah, Abednego. So this ain't the first time that happened to us. You understand? But nevertheless, let me keep going. Let me bring some more stuff to attention. Now, they'll try to label black folks a hate group. They'll try to put us in the hate group category. But where is the history of us going to white towns, burning it down, bombing it? We got the government bombing us. We got the police bombing us. We got it's okay. But us speaking up and rejecting oppression gets us in a hate. What you expect your enemy to do? What you gonna say? What you think they're gonna say? Yeah, you right. Their whole system is dependent on slavery. The whole system. How is you truth be told, there is no such thing as white supremacy. You should need nothing. You should be able to do it all your own. You should be able to do all the work yourself. Right? You should be able to do it yourself. If you supreme, you don't depend on a slave class. You don't depend on a downcast so you can survive if you're supreme. So there's no black supremacy, there's no white supremacy. If you understand what I'm saying. If you're supreme, you should be able to get out there and pick your own crops. If you're supreme. If you're supreme, you don't have to miseducate our children. If you're supreme. If you're supreme, you don't have to genocide another people group because you're supreme. What it is, you're supreme liars. You're supreme murderers that does the will of their father. That's what you're supreme. You're supreme in that. Let me introduce you to your daddy. All right. If God were your father, you would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from God. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? You go to pointing out the hypocrisy. You go to pointing out the crime. You go to pointing out the true history, and they call it hate speech. Why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. Ye are of your father, the devil. That's who you are. And the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning. Look, I don't have to name no people group. People that know the truth, know who got a historical record of going all over the earth, mass genociding folk. I don't have to name nobody. Everybody know who went over the earth, genocide everybody, stealing lands. Who did that? Huh? Who got to do like criminal and try to hide the evidence called history? Criminals have to hide the evidence. But you're going to be judged. Ain't no hiding from the Most High. See, he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth. That's why they love lies. They love that lie history. The history that don't exist. How can you be trying to ban books and tell the Smithsonian and museums what history to put in there, and at the same time erecting statues of war criminals? You ain't worried about the history. You ain't worried about the history, because if you was, you wouldn't be putting no war statues up there. Y'all get rid of that. Y'all get rid of that Confederate flags. You'll start doing something with these hate groups. You ain't doing none of that. What it is, you just trying to get us to go along and submit to the foolishness. It ain't working out for you. But anyway, let me move on. I didn't mean to go this route, but hey, it's not illegal to recruit folks for hate groups, y'all. Okay? It's not illegal. You got government-sanctioned terrorists running around. They can go to elected office, get together, put laws and plot on black folks. Remember, they done this right after slavery. They begin to put up these black codes, vagrancy laws. You know, think about it. Generations of slavery. Okay, then you let the slaves free. They ain't got no house and no job, but you gonna lock them up because they ain't got no house and no job. That's just like Satan. But yeah. All right, family. I think I done went on enough. Shalom. Yeah, 30 minutes, that's about good enough. Y'all take care. Thank you for joining.